What I feel is that in both my companies, that is the MIMO Wireless as well as in Forus, we have a lot of IIScians. We all work together, and I think that as a IIScian, you should not aim for something which is a job or something. Instead of being job seekers, I think you should be job providers, and that is what I agree with Dr. Swami Manohar on that. And we try to also groom people to start their own companies, and it's not an incubator or something, like, on a friendly basis, on mentoring basis. And recently, we have a person who is again an alumnus of IISc, who has come back from San Diego, and he wanted to start something on cardiology. And we have today, a prototype which is there, and there are already, a lot of investors who are showing a lot of interest, and at least 2 or 3 of them are very serious in investing into it. The investment community is very, very eager. There is a lot of activities happening in this area, and we are almost next to the Silicon Valley, I would say, as far as investments are concerned. And even in Forus Health and all the other companies, I have got investors from the valley, and we are today, well-funded company. So I would say that there's a lot of opportunities, and it's not very difficult. And we have also seniors sitting here, so we can all mentor you, guide you. And we have the SID, which is a fantastic facility. I should say that I am thankful to Professor Kinchar, Dr. Mohan, and all who have actually made a fantastic place where you can get in and start your own companies. And there is no, today's world, there is no limit for what can be done. Thank you.
Thank you, Shyam, for the promise. What else the students need? You can become big entrepreneurs like them. Always there has been a complaint from science students that it's the engineering students who are getting better jobs and better placements, and that to IT people. Here is a science student from physics department, Dr. Padaki, who rose to become the director of DEBEL, biology laboratory of DRDO. And he is managing the entire health management of a soldier in Himalayas or in a submarine. He's not just doing physics. He's doing a lot of instrumentation and devices and putting the systems together for the sake of the nation. He is an alumnus. We request Dr. Padaki to come and then say a few words just to motivate our students from the science stream.
At the outset, it gives me intense pleasure to be in the presence of very young and bright students of Indians of Science. Thanks to Professor Mohan, who invited me two days before to be one of the panelists and give my views. As Professor Mohan said, I started my career after post-graduation, that's Institute of Science in Physics Department. And after my PhD, I had few years of experience at atomic energy. Then I joined DRDO. It's more than 30 years I have been with DRDO, completely involved in development of products that are required for our soldiers, be it Army, Navy, or Air Force, and see through its complete life cycle management. That's from mine to market, you say, or bench side to bedside. The whole gamut of issues that are involved, the way we need to go about ensuring 100% success in replacing the imported systems with our indigenous system, it's probably the most challenging thing which I found, and we have been doing very well. What I'd like to impress upon you is DRDO is a very big organization. Its canvas is very, very vast. There are 54 laboratories and 8 clusters of labs. There is an aeronautical cluster, there is a missile cluster, there is armament clusters of labs, there is an electronic cluster, microelectronic devices cluster, and materials cluster, and life sciences cluster. Just in life sciences cluster, there are 9 laboratories spread across the country, and DEBEL is just one of these 9 laboratories. DEBEL stands for Defense Bioengineering and Electromedical Laboratory, and it is mandated to develop core competence in the life support system development, biomedical devices and systems development that are very specific to armed forces. You will wonder if I just give you a couple of examples. These life support technologies and biomedical devices are far, far different from the ones that are used in the commercial medical sense. For example, a fighter pilot, the moment he takes off, in just 3 seconds he will become unconscious if he doesn't put on with the life support systems and the protective equipment that are developed by DEBEL. Because the fluids in the body will undergo so much pressure changes, he will go through grey out, blackout and unconscious in 3 seconds. If I do not prevent the blood pooling into the lower parts of the body, in just few seconds, both the pilot and the aircraft is lost. How these things are done in real time is something very, very wonderful too. So right from the concept to the product to the production, and ensuring that the life cycle management, in my personal opinion, the strong foundation that I got during my PhD, the way we need to address the problem, split into smaller problems, solve them, integrate them, and then go towards much bigger solution to find for the system, this has helped me to a great deal. Just another example I tell you. We have 28 submarines operating underwater in all waters, and for some reason if the submariner has to come out of the incapacitated submarine at say 100 meters, just think of the pressure outside is 10 bar 100 meters, 10 times the atmospheric pressure, and if he has to come out, whether anybody likes it or not, the internal body pressure and the external pressure has to be equalized, else within seconds his lungs will be burst, his eyes, ears, everything will be punctured. So what kind of life support technology that is required? Do we have access to the complete, the medical science behind it available to us, and then go on solving the problems in terms of the bench model? Then from bench model we need to move towards the engineering prototype, carry out experiments in a simulated environment, then prove beyond doubt that it is not doing any harm if I put it on a man, that is under simulated condition on a man, and then go through the production, quality, reliability, maintenance, serviceability. I tell you today, the life support technology for the submarine escaper is from DEBEL. How all this happened? I tell you, DEBEL has 75 scientists, and you will wonder, we have 13 disciplines making this 75 scientists. You name a discipline from medical to mechanical, all disciplines are there, 3 to 4 to 5 scientists. Indeed, learning each other language itself is a big task. A physicist talking to a computer engineer, a chemist talking to a mechanical engineer. Likewise, the technical textiles, the biochemistry, biotechnology. There are 13 disciplines working under one roof day in and day out, trying to learn about each other, and then solving the problem. But Institute has been of a great help and sense of inspiration to all of us throughout. Professor Mohan himself is on our research council. He's also advisor to all our 5-year plan programs. And we seek advisors from almost all departments of Institute of Science. That's because I do have very close relationship. In addition, I am also CEO of the society called Society for Biomedical Technology. How to bring the spin-off benefits of the defense technology or other technologies to make those devices which are affordable by common man. It was started by our Honorable Ex-President, Professor Kalam, and now it is steered by DEBEL because it has multidisciplinary strength, but the number of scientists who are working are not sufficient. We always consider the IITs, Indians of Science, and the industries as our extended arm for developing the products. Indeed, DRDO is neither an academic institute nor it is an industry. It's somewhere in between. It very well knows how to fill all the gaps. If it needs to take inputs from the academicians, we have several research boards, armament research boards, aeronautical research and development board, naval research board, life sciences research board, extramural research. They all give number of projects to universities and IIScs. I believe number of projects must be running in this particular institute from all these various boards. One thing always comes to my mind. The students who are working on any of these research projects that are associated with DRDO, they can really leverage by directly interacting with the research labs who have funded these projects, so that hands-on they can learn what actually is the end requirement instead of knowing the problem in a piecemeal and then trying to provide only solution for that. Because many times the research solutions are such that when we move from mind to market, halfway through we find, oh, this approach is not good. If the scientists knew before the end application is like this, the problems a industry that would face during its implementation, probably his approach would have been different. These are all my experiences, because from last 30 years I have been looking into all these various aspects, and there's not much time to tell you the various technologies that are being developed by DRDO. In fact, DRDO is probably the biggest technology generator in India. It's doing really cutting-edge technologies in the strategic and tactical weapon platform and its systems. Is the biggest system developer and system integrator, and everything that is possible to learn is possible in this group of DRDO laboratories. It provides excellent infrastructure, but the human resources as of now is not really enough. We are just 7,000 scientists, 10,000 technical personnel, and other 10,000 support staff. We need to grow, but not many come forward to join DRDO for the reason probably the pay packet is not enough. But from last 30 years of my experience, I tell you, I feel I have not lost anything. The kind of internal satisfaction that it gives in cracking a specific problem for our soldiers, it's uncomparable. And the way we are bleeding to death, more or less, by these Western companies, 1:1,000 times, you will wonder the ratio of import to the indigenous development is many times 1:1,000. You may not believe. That is the real truth. And see how our taxpayers' money is really taken out for their betterment. If the reversal of brain drain happens, I'm sure more intelligent brains will be working for DRDO, and in years to come, I have absolutely no doubt that DRDO will be in the front line to produce those cutting-edge technologies and products, and will be competing with those industries in the world market. And the future lies in you all young and bright students. So think carefully and take a decision about your future career. Thank you all.
So thank you, Dr. Padaki. They are all achievers. As you have seen, they are all students of IISc. So you students of IISc, you have to face the challenges. They have inspired you. They are supporting you for your future, either to join, take a job, or become an entrepreneur. What else you require? In fact, I had a very pleasant surprise when I went to the stalls. The big presence of DRDO teams, a large number of DRDO laboratories. They have been talking to students since morning, and I can see the tired faces of the administrators from DRDO sitting in the front row. Though Dr. Padaki mentioned about DEBEL and briefly about DRDO, I would like to ask Dr. Sokhi, Additional Director, Recruitment and Assessment Center of DRDO, will please give the mic to her. Madam, please tell about your experience, what happened since morning. How do you feel about it?
Thank you very much, sir, for giving an opportunity to me to speak here about my experiences since morning. Like yesterday, actually, it's not today. We came yesterday only. We visited the place. Like it's a specialty of DRDO. I can say that whenever they take up any job, they do with the full confidence. Like yesterday we came, our team visited from the Delhi as well as from the Bangalore. We saw the place. We wanted to present the DRDO in such a way so that the professionalism of the DRDO should be displayed amongst the. They could see they all could see the how we take up the challenges, how we take up the problems. So this should be displayed over here. So we took this assignment, and since morning, I think more than hundreds of students, like at each stall. We all were dedicatedly explaining each and every product, whatever we were having it, and most of the students were not knowing about how to enter DRDO. So we have explained, we have left our contact numbers, we have left our email IDs. Any query, any point of time, they can contact us, get all the details. Although it was not so easy like other companies or other corporate sectors, we have a set procedures of the government, but we have made them so comfortable so that they can apply within the government rules, they can apply in DRDO, and they can take up as a profession in DRDO. And we are really feel proud of our organization as well as challenge in front of the students to take up. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And all want to complete already. We have run out of time, but I had to, for the satisfaction of the audience and the people who are here, I should not deny the opportunity for others to speak. We'll quickly close this one as soon as possible. We have from Pfizer, Dr. Ajit Kamath. Will you please Dr. Kamath say a few words very briefly about your experience since morning?
Yeah, thank you, Professor Mohan. I'm delighted to be here. My name is Ajit Kamath. I head up the external R&D for Pfizer. It was a great experience for me interacting with lots of students. I'm from biochemistry department here. Professor Angelica and the rest of them invited me to come and participate in the meeting. It was fantastic for me to work with the students. Lots of challenging questions to me, with regard to how Pfizer works, what do we do, about the IP and everything else. So there are a lot of questions about the career, why academics, why industry, and how to balance between these, and how industries can work closely with the academic institutions. I think it will be great if we have more opportunities of interacting like this, not only for the benefit of the students, but also hopefully we'll be able to interact closely with the faculties of the institute. One thing I want to bring up here is, industries can't run by themselves. Okay, you heard that from the esteemed panel. It's all run by intellectuals like you. Okay, so industries are obligated to contribute back to the society. Okay, so if people come and ask me, tell me what Pfizer does, it's my obligation to tell you what we do and kind of encourage you to make a career in the industry. From that point of view, my own experience being in the Boston area for many years, I used to go